Hi everyone, welcome to another new episode of The Alivened Woman. Today we are speaking on Capricorn season and the feminine world cults. So when I was feeling into this and looking at the transits that's happening during Capricorn, there is big transits happening that I will get to. Um, but what I was noticing about the bigger transits and Capricorn season and the time of year that we are at. During Capricorn season, which begins on the Monday, the 22nd of December. Yeah, Monday's the 22nd of December. And then till I think it's the 20th of January. What I'm noticing is this big theme of completion and new beginning. So a death and a rebirth, almost, not almost is. So when people think of Capricorn, Capricorn is a very ambitious sign and it's all about success and it's all about like goal orientated. And we get to the end of the year and we open into a new year and we get so focused on right our goals. I'm gonna like this is the year I'm gonna make it happen and I'm gonna create like 20 goals, 30 goals, 50 goals. And I'm gonna start them immediately. And boy, there's like a study done that like the majority of people by the 24th of January have just like completely like given up on their goals because it's not realistic to have 50 goals and to attempt them in January. So yes, Capricorn is about goals, but Capricorn's not Aries. So Aries would be, oh, I'm gonna make 50 goals at the start of the year and like I'm gonna do them straight away. Capricorn is, I've been there, I've done that. I am more mature. I'm realistic. That is impossible. We don't create goals. We don't create goals like and do them all at 50 goals at the same time. Capricorn is about goals and setting goals. But Capricorn is the long game. It's long-term planning. So and this is where we get into winter. Like when Capricorn season begins, it's literally the first day of winter. And winter is a feminine season. Capricorn is actually a feminine sign. A lot of people mistake it for a masculine sign, but it's actually not. It's feminine. It's the sea goat. What is the sea is intuition. The goat is the earth. It's of the earth. Like it's actually quite intuitive sign. Which people would be like, no, not really. But when you actually understand Capricorn, it is. So getting back to the beginning and the ending, what I am sensing, which I'm sure a lot of people are actually feeling in themselves. So Capricorn in itself, if you actually like I was thinking about this. If you actually think about Capricorn, Capricorn is also a representation in a way of an ending and a beginning because we end the Gregorian calendar year in Capricorn and then we start a new Gregorian calendar year in Capricorn. So to me, that automatically signifies an ending and a beginning. And the transits that I'm going to be talking about, they are also in a an ending and a beginning phase. And Saturn, the ruler of Capricorn, is in Pisces. It's at its final couple of degrees, and it won't be there for another this is the final time for 30 years it will be there, but it's at like Pisces is a completion phase before we enter into a new beginning. So I was really like feeling that this is the theme of Capricorn season. Um, Completion, beginning, ending, beginning, death, rebirth cycle. So Capricorn, as I said, is very ambitious and it's all about success. Well, Capricorn is about our legacy. So if you think of our legacy, what we want to leave behind, what we want to build, That's not really created overnight. That takes time to build, and that's exactly what Capricorn, like Capricorn, it doesn't want you to rush through anything. So if we go back to the feminine principles of like walking with the cycles, um, it's like it's winter time. So we slow down and we reflect. And Capricorn is like, I don't want you to sit still. I don't want you to sit on your howl and do none. Yeah, you might have a week or two in Christmas time. But like, don't sit on your howl and do nothing. Use this time, this winter time, to reflect and to get a foundation in place for the upcoming year. Because with Capricorn, foundations is a must. Structure is a must. Strategy is a must. Capricorn is the architect. It's all about building. So building your legacy, building a successful 2026. But that takes time. It takes time, like as in like it's not going to happen overnight. It takes time, but also it's the time that you need to commit to making this possible. Because Capricorn is about like time, like linear time, and it's about commitment. And what you give your time to, you reap what you sow. So we'll go to Saturn, the ruler of Capricorn. So Saturn is the ruler of Capricorn. And people fear Saturn. Now since I got into astrology, I come from the lens of like there's nothing to fear about anything, any planet, any transit, any aspect, because it's all for your evolution. And particularly when I started studying evolutionary astrology, I like got even more into this. Like everything is to help us evolve, to help us to grow, help our soul growth. A lot of like people who are like more on the traditional side will be like Capricorn is a malefic. Capricorn like causes restrictions and lessons. And Capricorn does cause restrictions and it does cause limitations. And Capricorn is all about conditioning. But with Capricorn, those lessons, sorry, with Saturn, the ruler of Capricorn, which is a very similar energy to Capricorn, what it does is it gives you life lessons. Absolutely, you will be hit with life lessons. But the lessons are for you to overcome the conditioning, to overcome the patterns that you inherited, the patterns from society, the patterns that you picked up along your life's journey, so that you can overcome them and so you can actually like create more success so that you can begin to reap what you sow. So as I said, Saturn is about time, linear time. And Saturn's very much you reap what you sow. So that can go either or ways. I'm sure we've all had you reap what you sow in a good or a bad way. So Saturn's like either or, what you put your time to, you will reap what you sow. And this has had me thinking about like money a lot. Like this is what these episodes are about, money and wealth. And everybody wants money. Everybody wants to create wealth. And when I speak about this, I'm very much like I desire to create wealth consciously. So yes, people desire money, they desire to create wealth, but they're not willing to give time to money. They're not willing to learn about money. They're not willing to understand their patterns, their behaviors, their trauma when it comes to money. They are not willing to understand the relationship to money. So we will have a relation. We obviously when we came into this world, we needed money. Not we didn't need money, but our parents needed money to provide for us. And every day since then, money has been needed or the majority of the days of our lifetime, money has been needed for us, whether it's to feed us, clothe us, house us. That's just the basic shit, and anything else we want. And we will need money till the day we die. So even when we pass over, when we cross over, there is money needed for our burial. Like, so no matter what, we need money. Money, like, there's no getting away from it, no matter how much you want, no matter how much you are cringing right now. If you're watching this and thinking all things, like, you need money. And money is not wrong, it's not dirty, it's not shameful, it's not evil. Money is neutral. So whatever energy, whatever emotion you attach to money, that's what money will mirror back to you, because money is a mirror. Um, and so we need to really understand and build this relationship to money. And that requires commitment, devotion, and time. But people are not willing to do it. And people are walking around like feeling sorry for themselves. And listen, I'm also very much aware that, like, actually, like, some people are, like, people are homeless. People are living in war countries that have war. That's not who I'm talking about. I'm talking about, like, people who have lack mentality. There will never be enough. I will never get enough. But they're still repeating the same patterns. They're not willing to understand their patterns around money. They're not willing to learn about money. We live in a society that has so much information in it. So even if you didn't have a lot of money, you could go on to YouTube. You could go on to the internet and find out things about that. But are you actually doing that? You want money, but are you giving it the time it needs, the time required to actually build wealth? So that's something to really sit with and to reflect on as we enter the winter period, as we enter Capricorn season. And because Saturn, as I said, it's reaping what you sow. And to me, I see Saturn as a planet of manifestation as well. So Saturn, right? We have the personal planets. So personal planets is your sun, your moon, Venus, and Mars. And then you have, like, the evolutionary planets, the spiritual planets, which will be Pluto, Neptune, and Uranus. And then we have the transpersonal planets. That's in between the personal and the evolutionary planets, which is Jupiter and Saturn. So I always see it, this is my perception of it. So you have soul, you have Pluto, which is associated with the soul, and why I incarnated here. Then it moves to Neptune. And Neptune is all about spirituality, and it's about our dreams and our fantasies. And then we move to Uranus, which is associated with the higher mind, the angelical realm, our higher self. And then you meet Saturn. So Saturn is all about building, as I said, and it's all about reality. And it wants to build so much, like, it really wants to build. It wants to build legacy. It wants to build success. It wants to bring our dreams into reality. So all of what's going on in the evolutionary planets, it meets at Saturn. And Saturn's saying, I can manifest this for you. I can help you create this. But you are going to have to dedicate your time. You are going to have to be committed. You are going to have to sacrifice things, sacrifice your time. You're going to have a few lessons that are not going to be easy. But once you do that, once you get over your conditioning, you will reap what you sow. And as I said, good or bad, or what, yeah. And then also Saturn, I see Saturn comes to liberate us as well. And you're probably like, how is Saturn a liberator? Saturn is the co-ruler of Aquarius, as with Uranus. What is Aquarius? Aquarius is liberation. So if you give time to understanding where you want to bring your business in 2026, if you give time to planting, to creating the foundation, the unshakable foundation, putting structures in place, boundaries in place, strategies in place, Saturn will help you. And this is what Capricorn season allows us to do. If you start to understand your money, okay? So we come to the end of the year and people will start to, if they haven't already, start to look at what you made at the end of the year. So, okay, so you understand what you made in 2025. Was it what you desired for? Was it what you wished, hoped for? But where do you want to go in 2026? And what does that require of you? So it doesn't mean just because we think of more money, it doesn't actually mean that we have to do more things, like as in exchange more services, exchange more one-to-one time. It does not mean that. It means you need to get like have a strong foundational offers in place and get really, really intentional with what you are doing. But also we'll come back to the committed time, like committing your time to money. Learn about money. Commit time to building a relationship with money. Like look at your patterns, your conditions, your beliefs around money, because that's exactly what Saturn is. It's conditioning and beliefs. And this is what we are getting really, as I said, it's Capricorn season is an ending and a beginning. So we'll see more of the beginning coming towards the end, the middle and the end of Capricorn season. So we have to look at our conditioning. What our patterns, our habits are when it comes to money. So, and these they may actually not even be yours, because Saturn's connected to karma and it's connected to our ancestries as well. And like it's all about structure. So if you think of the structure of your DNA, what is encoded in your DNA, more than likely if you're a woman, there is going to be a shit ton of beliefs, conditioning in regards to you creating wealth. So I remember a couple of months back there was this fear of when I kind of start looking more into this, what I could sense was like there was this fear of me creating wealth, because what would that mean? That would actually make people reject me, because I would be a woman that has money. So that in a way equals to power. And women in power, people are afraid of, people reject. There will be like the conditioning of like, I always remember hearing, and actually like from my granddad as well, that like rich people stay rich because they're mean and they don't give money. Like, it'd be the poor people that help it, the poor people that will be the force to give their money before rich people. And that's how rich people stay wealthy, because they're mean. And I actually like meanness is like a turn off for me. And then you would have the actually like the financial trauma, like what did you see when it came to money, like how your parents, how your family behaved? Was there arguments? Was there fights? All that those affects us. So during this Capricorn season, it's asking us to like look at our condition, but begin to break the shackles that are restricting us, that are holding us back, so that we can make 2026 a year of success in our business, in our financial life, and in our overall life in general. You see, Saturn is currently, as I said, the grades of Pisces. And Pisces and Saturn, Pisces and Capricorn, they work well together. They're both earth signs, okay? So be known as a sextile. They can be in harmonious relationship together. It will be one of the aspects that is a harmonious relationship. So Saturn with Pisces, the sign that Saturn is currently in, because we always look to the ruler of the sign, and as I said, Saturn is the ruler of Capricorn, so that's why I am looking to Pisces for more information. So, Pisces is the sign of dreams. Our dreams, it's connected to Source, to God, and with Saturn being here, as I said, Saturn is about building and it's about like reality. So with Saturn at the final degrees of Pisces, it is saying your dreams, Saturn's here to help you bring your dreams into reality. Okay. But it's at the final, and so Pisces is all about completion. So this is possible. It's really possible for us to bring our dreams into reality. However, there is going to be some final like Saturn lessons in Pisces around boundaries, around structure, around foundations. I can sense this right now. I am in this. Few life lessons, Saturn life lessons. And I'm really, really feeling this right now. And it's when it's also in its balsamic phase. So there is 8 phases that like people know it mostly when it comes to the moon, but actually you can use that for all the planets. Um, so it's in the balsamic phase of yeah, it's in the balsamic, the final phase. And when it, with this phase, it can also be like like things need to be completed, but there's a lot of karmic lessons that can come up to be completed, which I spoke about. So if you want to bring your dreams into reality, it's about like having boundaries, having structures, building foundations. And that's what's going to make it possible. Um, yeah, and what I have written down when I just kind of like tuned in yesterday, it was like, so Capricorn, we have this season to really get focused and really put a foundation in place for 2026. So it's not about rushing ahead. It's not like what we were like, new year, new me, new this, new that. It's like, so what really matters to you? Like what is it that really matters to you? What is it that you want to create? And you have to give your time, your energy, and focus to. So you want to create success in your business. Be very know exactly what it is that you want to build and focus your time on it and give your energy to it and plan and have structures and strategies in place for that to happen. If you desire to create wealth, okay, so what you need to give time, energy, and focus to it. So understanding how you can do that, and what that means. And Capricorn is all about consistency. So I don't mean like consistency as in like, like get up at like 5:30 every morning and go for a run and then come back and like do this, do that, and that has to be every day, and you have all these like new goals that you're after setting, and like you're gonna do these 20 goals in the new habits that like there's 20 new habits that you're gonna like do in like before it's 10:30 because that's not sustainable. And remember, the feminine way of creating wealth is through sustainability, through sustaining your energy. So consistency looks like it doesn't have to be every day, but it could be like a consistent like amount of time that you are giving to money, that you are giving to your business. It could be just like 1 hour a day that you're doing background work on a Tuesday, Wednesday, and Thursday, or it could be like when you are in your follicular phase. That's when you plan ahead for, like, you can see what your offers are because you've created them in Capricorn season. And then on your follicular phase, you're like, right, I seen in Capricorn season, this is what I'm going to offer. So I am in my follicular phase in like February. So I'm going to plan for the month. I'm going to do what I need to do for the month. I'm going to look at my goals, my financial goals, all the goals that I have. So what I was getting was like, so we are going, as I said, this is an ending, a beginning. We are going into this new year, and this new year is fucking like, from an astrological point of view, it's, yeah, 2025 was an ending, and 2026 is like, shit is gonna happen. And in February, there is shit happening in Aquarius season. So this is why we're going to be using Capricorn season to pull out all of those conditions, look at our conditioning, look at our patterns to create foundations, a new fresh foundation that is going to support us in our financial growth, in our business growth. So also, like, outdated beliefs and systems, they will not work in the new year. They're not going to work. So even if we come back to Saturn is in Pisces, right? So Pisces is the mystic, and it's very like flowy. I'm just like intuitive. I'm just gonna go with the flow and, yeah, just surrender, and just like God will bring me what I need when I need it. That's very Pisces. And Saturn moves into Aries in, I think it's February. So Aries is not Pisces. And see that going with the flow, that's not going to work. So when Saturn moves into Aries, it's all about self-responsibility. You will not be, as I said, Saturn comes with limitations, restrictions, and life lessons. Aries is about movement. It's about leadership. But if you do not have your foundations in place, if you don't have structures in place, if you don't have boundaries in place, you will just burn out and you will go nowhere. Because Saturn takes away as much as it can give. You reap what you sow. So Saturn can give, but can also take away. So see this business of like not having any structures, not having any strategy, not having any foundation in place. Very Pisces, which is grand for Pisces. But when Aries comes, that is not going to work, ladies. So this is why it's like, get your foundations in place. You know, and Capricorn season is giving you the perfect opportunity. So if a system that you've had in place, if it does not align where you are wanting to go, it will not work. So do you need new systems in place? And we need new beliefs created to move us forward. What else? Yeah, and it's the new systems and new beliefs that's going to help us bring our dreams into reality, the Saturn in Pisces. So two transits that I wanted to talk to you about that we will be working with in Source Encoded membership is so as I said, like Saturn's about like, oh sorry, Saturn, Capricorn season is about an ending and a beginning. And the it's like the first kind of half is about like the ending, and then the middle half is like there's movement. So we have on the 6th of January, we have Venus superior conjunction with the sun. So the sun and Venus meet up. Now, this will take us back 9 months, okay? So we'll go back, we'll take a little ride back to Venus retrograde that we experienced in March/April when it was in Pisces and Aries. So Venus retrogrades, when it happens, it starts this new 18-month cycle of Venus. So when she goes retrograde, she has this theme that she starts off on. And that's the theme, the overall theme for the 18 months until she goes retrograde again, which will be in October 2026. So Venus, her theme was Aries. So Venus is about money, but it's the goddess as well. So it's the divine feminine. It is about money, sensuality, pleasure, receptivity, and magnetism. So an Aries is about initiation. So the feminine got initiated in the Venus retrograde in March/April. We got initiated. So something you got initiated, the feminine in general got initiated, and we can see that. We can see that so much in the collective. Women are rising up now, and we are no longer, I can see that a lot of us are no longer willing to play small, to shrink, to be seen. It's like we're taking on the role of like, I am the leader of my life. And that's exactly what Venus in Aries done as well. So I'm not playing small. I'm not shrinking. I'm not going to do what you told me to. I am going to do what I came here to do. Like, we got initiated. I actually did have a full-on like initiation by Venus, by Isis, by Mary Magdalene at that time. But what happens then on where I'm going with the 6th of January? So that was a 9-month period, okay? And then on the 6th of January, when the Sun and Venus meet up, it is this superior conjunction. And it's this secondary theme of this Venus cycle that we are in. And it's in Capricorn. Okay? So Capricorn is about commitment, and it's about giving time. So whatever you are initiated into, you will have to, with Venus and the Sun coming together, it's a new beginning. It's in Capricorn. It's about commitment. It's about time that you have to give to. So it's saying also Venus is about money. Capricorn is about commitment and time. And the Sun is the masculine energy. So the masculine and the feminine, Venus and the Sun, are coming together in Capricorn and it's saying that whatever you are initiated into, now is the time that you will that you commit more to it. Now you actually have to give full on time to it. You need to focus. And it's also saying that you need to commit time to money. So Venus will eventually move into Capricorn, but on this day, it's like in a way a new moon phase. So doing a ritual to help you with this. So it's saying, Venus is saying, ladies, because I can see as I said in South season, women are being called, ladies in leadership are being called now to create wealth. And it's so we have a choice. So we can't be suppressed. So our voices can't be silent. So we can stand up and we're not going to be relying on anything outside of us to create financial resources. So we can't be controlled. We can't be manipulated. We cannot be tamed. So with Venus here, Venus and the moon meeting up, the masculine and the feminine meeting up, and Venus is actually about money, receiving money. In Capricorn, it is literally saying, now is the time to create money. And now is the time that you commit time to money. And money and success can happen, but you need to make it happen. You need to give it time. Okay, so it's really it's in plain black and white. Give time to money. Give time to money. It's as simple as that. And my dog just barked and she had to throw me off. Yeah, so if we are coming back to the and that was 9 months, okay? So like 9 months, which is gestation. So it's something that is ready to be birthed. Something is also getting ready to be birthed for that will help you if you commit to it, if you give time to it, you will make money from it. So like what I know exactly what I was initiated into because it came through a mushroom ceremony through Mary Magdalene and Isis, and it was to help women create wealth. So this is like literally saying, like from my lens, for me personally, it's saying you need to give more time and energy and focus to this. Like that's what you are initiated into. That's what you have to do. And then so if we look at like we're always looking up, if we go back to the 8 phases. So I'm trying to keep this as simple as possible, but this is where the conditioning comes, right? So as I said, the first 2 weeks are like the first half is like an ending. So that's when we need to look at our conditioning and our beliefs around money. Because if you like Venus is money and it's in the balsamic phase, and the balsamic phase, a lot of karma and patterns come up, but it's asking you to look at it and to also yeah, to look at it, to do a lot of gratitude for the patterns. Um, like look at your condition and look at your beliefs, but also to have gratitude for what you're after learning. So that you are going into this refreshed energy. And then we have another Venus conjunction with Pluto on the 20th of January. So here is big money, honey. Venus, money. Pluto, money. Money, money, money. Money. Um, again, this is a new cycle of the masculine, Venus, Pluto. Sorry, Venus, feminine, Pluto, masculine, right? Pluto will be the energetics of money. Pluto is also connected to debt, not just debt as in like someone dying and actually the metaphysical debt, but debt as in money debt. It's the energetics of money. As I said, um, Venus is about receiving money and it's happening in Aquarius, right? Aquarius is also ruled by Saturn, so we have to give the conditioning is very much right. So looking at our conditioning is very, very vital right now. Before coming up to this, like this is a big transit. This is a big money transit. So looking at your conditioning is vital. Looking at your financial before this, looking at your financial trauma is vital. So, with this here, like it's in Aquarius. So what is Aquarius? Aquarius is like unexpected. Like things can just change like that. It's connected to the higher self, the higher mind. So Aquarius is about like the collective consciousness. So I see this as another new cycle of like wealth consciousness being created. Um, so that is another cycle, another transit that you can work with to help you create wealth. Okay. But what again, like if we look to the Venus coming up to just before the 20th of January, coming up to it, again, that's in the balsamic phase. What is the balsamic phase? An ending, a completion, but there's karma coming up and we need to look at our conditioning. So what we can do, I'm giving you things to do. Like as I said, look at your patterns, your conditioning, your beliefs, what was passed down to you, what you experienced during your childhood when it comes to money. But with this being in the balsamic phase, which is associated with Pisces, and Pisces is all about forgiveness. Doing forgiveness work when it comes to these experiences that you've had with money, these beliefs that you've had with money. Anything, any negative beliefs that you have with money coming up to those dates, that will be so fucking beneficial for you. Um, and here is my invitation for you. I'm going to invite you to Source Encoded membership. So this is, oh my God, I love it. This is my membership that is going live on Capricorn season on the 22nd of December. And this is it's basically like a temple space that women in business come together to create wealth and relationships consciously. And when I say and connections consciously, when I say connections, it's with other women in business. So this is an audio based, it's based over on Telegram. Um, so it's not like we have one live call a month, but in Capricorn season, we're going to have two live calls because I just want to welcome you in. But mainly it's based over on Telegram. And what I do in Telegram, I share two transmissions per week on the transits that we are currently experiencing. I will be sharing money practices, pleasure practices, modern energy tapping practices, money practices, literally everything I know I will be pouring into this group, and it's all to help you create wealth consciously. And we have these within this space as well, there will be days for you to share your offers, your podcasts, whatever you desire. Because what I'm seeing is, and I know people that this has happened to. If you are in any way a disruptor, a woman in leadership who is disruptor, if your work is disrupted, so if you work in sacred sexuality, if you work in money, if anything like that, helping women reclaim their power. um like social media is run by men, and it can be taken down. I've seen it happen, and then you have to build again. We are relying so much on social media to help ourselves, but like what I see with this is like potentially, yeah, creating relationships, friendships, but potentially creating collaborations, and potentially like receiving clients from this, from the other members, I have this yeah, there's a lot of love for this membership in my heart. I'm going to be pouring so much into this because I can see this bigger picture for it. Um, and I done a trial for it in Mercury retrograde, and it went really well, and I've refined it even more since then. So if you are interested in this, it's a monthly membership. It runs from like the astrological seasons, so Capricorn, Aquarius, Pisces, so on and so forth. And what happens is there will be two calls in Capricorn season. There will be one on the 22nd. And then there's one on the Pluto and Venus transit, because we are coming together to make money happen. And then, but if you can't make the live call, it's recorded. And yeah, I'm just, so what happens then? What was, I know what else did I want to say about this? Yeah, so it, like the cart closes, the doors will close on Sunday, which is the 21st of December, and then it won't open closer till Aquarius season. So if you want to get in for Capricorn season, if you want to get in for those transits, the work that we are doing, because everything that I spoke about, that's what we'll be doing in the membership. This is your invite. I will pop it down below. The link, if it's on Spotify, it will be there, but you might have to, if you're listening on YouTube, you might have to go to my Instagram page to have a look. Yeah, and if you enjoyed the episode, let me know. Please, if you don't already, like subscribe to my page on YouTube, follow me over on Spotify. The more interactions and the more follows I get from this just helps me spread my message, get my word out to more people. So thank you so much for listening. I hope you enjoyed it. It's so funny, I tried to record this yesterday and there was so much restriction going on my body. I had to do tapping last night to help me uncover what was going on. And it was like the restriction is so Capricorn, so it's Saturn. But yeah, it was not flowing out yesterday. After 5 minutes, I was like, this is not working. I know my channel so much, and I know when I'm channeling, and I know when I'm forcing, and it was forced. So thank you so much for listening. I would love to see you there in the membership. Like oh my God, what I feel about this, I feel it's just gonna be fucking major. It's gonna be big. Yeah. So I hope to see you there. Have a great day, everyone.